to vary the order paper. Clerk, we may proceed. Honorable members, order please. Honorable members. Honorable members, as per the order paper and order 41.1 of the standing orders, today is questions for oral answers. Furthermore, as a reminder, clause 43 of the standing orders limited supplementary questions to 7 in total, 2 for the honorable member asking the question and 5 among other members. Therefore, we will proceed with the honorable ministers scheduled today to give their oral answers. Thank you. Clerk, we may proceed.
Questions for oral answers by the Honorable Minister for Transport, Works and Infrastructure.
Honorable members, as I stated earlier on, I hereby vary the order paper to now begin with the Honorable Minister for Transport, Works and Infrastructure. Honorable Minister for Works, Transport and Infrastructure, please take the podium. Clerk. Clerk.
Questions for oral answers by the Honorable Minister for Transport, Works and Infrastructure.
Thank you, Honorable Minister for Transport, Works and Infrastructure. You may proceed to the podium. Questions for which 2 notices were given to the Honorable Minister for Transport, Works and Infrastructure by honorable members for oral reply. Question number 061 of 2025 by the honorable member for Jara Central.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, for coming. Honorable Speaker, could the Honorable Minister for Transport, Works and Infrastructure inform this August Assembly when shall work commence on the following roads in Jara Central? Jara Central Kabada, that were surveyed and earmarked for construction. These: A, the road linking Japine and Digante via Sasita Toranka and Medina Sasita. B, the road linking Buiba Mandinka and Sasita Toranka via Buiba Jalokunda and Sare Seidi. C, the road linking Sare Seidi and Seno Bajonki via Forea Fula and Forea Medina. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. The aforementioned areas were initially identified and studied as part of the nationwide Rural Roads Development Project for potential construction. However, due to financial constraints, priority was given to the roads currently under construction. Nevertheless, there is an intention to include these roads in upcoming projects, subject to potential funding from development partners.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Honorable Minister, you see, when we say Kabada, we mean the whole length starting from Nyoro Jataba right down around Gureng on the southern bank. So therefore, if you are saying that you are constructing the roads of Kabada, it should be very clear and understood that Kabada is not only centered around the kiosks. It's not only centered around the kiosks. And these have brought many issues around the Kabada, meaning you want to separate Kabada into two.
Honorable member.
Now, Honorable Minister, what I am saying
Honorable,
what I am saying, I'm coming with the question now, Honorable Speaker. Yes, I'm coming with the
take your
question.
seat. Honorable, order, honorable members, order. Order, please. Honorable member for Jara Center, you are a senior member. You know you should not debate or make a statement. Ask your supplementary question. Straightforward. Don't debate here. Wait for the adjournment debate to extend your people's concerns.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, this is a disappointment on the side of the Kabada Jara Central. Absolutely. This road, I am the one.
Honorable, don't do that. Honorable, take your seat. Honorable member, you are out of order. Don't do that to the minister. Please, don't do that. Please. If you don't have any further questions, we can move to the other.
Yeah, I do have, of course. I do have a supplementary.
Then go ahead and ask your question.
Okay, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Minister, I heard your response very well. And it has come out of a surprise to me. So what are you doing next? What is your ministry doing next? So see that these roads that were surveyed and earmarked for construction are constructed. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. As I said in the question, in the answer, the surveys have been done, and then we are hopeful that when funds are available to support that we are envisaging from our development partners, these roads would be considered. But remember also that the government is very much aware of the development needs of each and every sector and corner of this country. What we have provided in the Kabadas transcend from Kiang. It includes also Jara. And I think, with all honesty, it is the first of its kind in the history of this country. MPs in the regions where roads are being constructed should work with the government to see that we realize those objectives. When roads are not done in an area does not mean that they are neglected. It is available, subject to availability of funds. The National Assembly is the one that allocates funds to this ministry. What you provide to us is what we try within our limit to provide the roads and infrastructure needed for the respective regions of this country. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Honorable Minister, you said it was the Kabada Kiangs that was a priority.
Honorable Speaker, I never said that. What I said was that Kiang as well as Jara were all part of the initial road surveyed. And part of the work that we are doing goes all the way into Jara. It even crossed into Jara Soma main highway going into Jara Central. You know that very well, Honorable Member.
Honorable Minister, you have not done anything in Jara Central. Nothing, absolutely.
We have not.
Order is honorable members, honorable minister, honorable member for honorable member for Jara Center. You know you are out of order. You cannot do that. No, honorable. Honorable, you ask your substantive question. He answered. And you are to ask a supplementary question, follow up. You're making those statements. I'm disappointed here and there. He have answered. He said they are surveyed, he agreed with you, and then funds are being searched, one secured. There's no need to fly temples. We are in Ramadan, though I agree. But please, don't do that. You know, I saw a lot of tags There are areas also they want what you are having now when you visit Kabada. I agree it stretches onto a lot of constituencies. But just ask your question. Okay, go ahead. No, don't do that. Acha, go ahead. Supplementary.
Honorable Minister, Jara Central has never been a priority for your ministry to construct those roads.
No, Honorable, that is not a question. I know the minister is doing well for your area. Order, please. Thank you. Member for Fonyi Pintankarana, you have the floor.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, as much as we allocate funds, it is your responsibility to prioritize, and you have given priorities to other areas. Before the survey, don't you know that there was no money in hand?
Honorable member, you don't need to have money to do a survey. Right now, we have more than 5,000 kilometers of roads that we have surveyed across this country. This is part of development planning, and you have to plan ahead of resources. Thank you.
Member for Brikama South, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, in your response, you did mention that you looking for the donor partners in order to construct the other roads. Other than the donor support, don't you have any other alternatives?
Well, the only alternatives would have been the budget. And you all know the amount of money allocated to the ministry for current and ongoing projects. So that is the only way we could have done, or we go into pre-financing. And that one also has to go through a due process of approval by the Ministry of Finance.
A member for Latikonda Sabeji, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, you mentioned about development support. Is this development support you sought? You seek for? You sought for both the roads under construction with pending IPCs and all the roads that we have studied. Do you seek development support for all these two roads? Thank you.
The development support actually is for roads that are yet to be done. For example, we are in discussion with the World Bank that has agreed to do a study of 500 kilometers of roads across the country, but out of these 500 kilometers, they will only do 150 kilometers, 100 kilometers in the rural areas and 50 kilometers in the urban areas. And some of the surveyed roads that we have done and prioritized as ministry but could not be funded on the current schemes will be considered.
Member for Upper Fuladu West, you have the floor.
Yes, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, we thank you so much for the effort that your ministry is doing. We know man's wants are unlimited, but the question that I have for you, but Honorable Jawara, we are living in a democratic state.
Honorable member for Upper Fuladu, don't engage in chit chat with these people. Ignore them.
Okay, thank you very much. My question here is, the road mentioned by the Honorable Member for Jara Central, do your ministry have any plan to build or to construct the remaining roads before end of year?
Well, I don't want to give a promise that before the end of the year. But I mean, we are working with the World Bank. We are hopeful that very soon the detailed studies and surveys will begin. And hopefully after 6 months, when those studies are ready, construction works, the process for procurement of the contractors and then followed by construction works will begin. And part of the road extension of the current 101 kilometers we are doing in the Kabadas will include some of the roads he mentioned.
Don't do that. Ablai, Deputy Majority Leader, can you talk to the Jara Central Member of Parliament? You cannot behave like that. Member for Order. Jara Central. Member for Woolly East, you have the floor. Woolly East.
No, thank you very much. Order. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, we have put, I could remember in the budget, when we are dealing with the Senegambia Bridge. That is
Order.
Yes, the Senegambia Bridge.
Honorable members, order, please. Member for Woolly East, take your seat, please. Member for Woolly East, take your seat, please. My friend, order. I want decorum from Jara Central to every other member. Member for Lower Salem, you are not the policeman of this, please. No. Keep quiet. Honorable Member for Lower Salem, keep quiet. Woolly East, you have the floor.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, I could remember there is an allocation through the Africa 50 agreement on Senegambia Bridge. And what the Minister mentioned here is that that amount, part of it will be used for road construction. Has that already been allocated, or are you thinking of using it for other roads?
Point of order.
Honorable Member, you are out of order. Yes. You are out of order. Question number 062 of 2025 by the Honorable Member for Yamina Dankun.
Very much, Honorable Speaker. I think this one is one of the biggest problems too. Honorable Speaker.
Point of order.
There's point of order from the member for Sabah Sanjal. Put off your mic, member for Yamina Dankuku. Sabah Sanjal, can we hear your point of order, please?
I'm rising on order 43-2. And if you may allow me, Honorable Speaker, I will read. The member in whose name the question is listed may ask up to 2 supplementary questions, and up to 5 other members may ask 1 further supplementary question. And I believe that 5 members have already asked each 1 supplementary question. So if you allow the member for Yamina Dankunku, it will make it 6.
Honorable Member for Nyama Dankunku, please, you know there is a point of order, I need to make a ruling.
Okay.
Point of order withdrawn, Honorable Speaker.
Order. Member for Sabah Sanya, you are out of order. Member for Nyama Dankunku, please.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the road from Choya to Kulenya and Kumbiran have been a nightmare for the people of Nyamina West and Yamina Dankun. Could the Honorable Minister for Transport, Works and Infrastructure inform this August Assembly if the Choya, Kulenya and Kumbiran roads are in the government priority list for construction?
Thank you, Honorable Member for Yamina Dankung. Honorable Speaker, the government of the Gambia has recently been approached by a contractor to pre-finance the aforementioned roads. The option is currently being studied by the government, and once an agreement is reached, the said roads and other roads within Yamina amounting to 37 kilometers will be surveyed for potential construction.
Yes, Honorable Speaker. Actually, the reason of asking the question was to get this answer from the Minister. So, Honorable Minister, you think how soon would the construction of this road start, since you have actually arranged a contractor for pre-financing?
Thank you, Honorable Member. Right now, the MOU has been prepared. What is left is to send it to the Attorney General's chambers for advice. And then once that is done, the surveyors are already on the ground, and we will procure a firm to do the study with the contractor surveyors. And then within 3 months, when that report is ready, according to the MOU, draft MOU, then work will begin. Thank you.
Member for Joswan.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, you made mention about pre-financing. What will be the mode of payment?
Well, that will be detailed out following the signature of the MOU and the agreement by the Ministry of Finance.
Member for Lower Salem, you have the floor. Okay, you are bordered with the Nyame Dankunku by the River Gambia. So you have a place highly interest in that. Member for Latakunda Sabiji, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, you mentioned about a particular contractor approach your ministry for pre-financing. Now, I don't know whether you are ready to single source to that particular contractor, or you are going to open a bid so that to make it a competitive approach, because that is what the procurement rule says.
It is going to be a competitive. What we are doing is that the contractor is doing the funding for the pre-financing, and then we are going to open it once the studies are done. So competitive bidding is part of the agreement in the MOU.
Nominated Member Kebalang Fofana, you have the floor.
Honorable Minister, I would have said that my question is answered when you said 3 months, but I have a particular interest in this case. So when do we expect the laying of the foundation stone of this road?
Well, I'm constrained by the government bureaucracy to say the exact date, but we are hopeful that within the 3 months window, we'll see actual progress to the point that we can say that a foundation stone will be laid by the president.
You know, we have Nyamina East, Nyamina West, Nyamina Dankunku, Lower Salem, and Nominated Member Kebalang Fofana, all from that region. So follow the minister. Yes, darling. So follow the minister after this session.
Yeah, Honorable Speaker, I can assure that all the Nyaminas are part of this scheme. All the Nyaminas. Yes.
So all the Nyaminas will benefit from 2025 road construction. Now the member for Kiang West, you have the floor.
Honorable Speaker, thank you very much. Honorable Minister, I owe you a big thank, but that will come during adjournment debate. I pity your ministry. The 75% of government priorities for development are on roads, and that lies in your ministry.
Ask your question.
So that makes it very difficult for you. Honorable Minister, would you provide this Parliament with that MOU, for this further scrutiny of the Committee of
government projects.
I mean, when the National Assembly asks, we are obliged to provide it to you.
Question number 063 of 2025 by the Honorable Member for Yamina Dankunku.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. For more than 7 years, the ferry crossing between Lower Salum and Yamina Dankunku is in operation without a landing ramp. At the Yamina Dankunku end. To build the landing ramp at the Yamina Dankunku end.
Thank you, Honorable Member for Yamina Dankunku. Honorable Speaker, now that the rains have subsided, the Gambia Ferry Services has plans to build a walkable slipway at both ends of the Lower Salum and Yamina Dankunku ferry crossing points. This would be supplemented by a longer-term structure to be carried out by government as part of road infrastructure that will take into account the topography of the whole stretch to Yamina Jakoto end.
Member for Lower Salum.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and thank you, Honorable Minister, for that update. For how soon the first
J. A question fully answered shall not be asked again during the same session.
The member for Lower Salum wanted to know how soon would work begin? What in his answer?
Honorable Minister, Honorable Speaker.
In these things, I don't know. Go ahead. Can you read it again?
Honorable Speaker, Could the Minister for Transport Works and Infrastructure provide more information to this August Assembly about the private company that have been contracted to build a new ferry anchor currently underway in Barra? Could you please clarify whether this project has had any impact on the common historical places of Fort Blaine?
Thank you, Honorable Member for Upper Salum or Lower Salum. Honorable Speaker, the private company Negma, which is a Turkish company, was issued a ferry license in 2022 to operate between Banjul and Barra crossing points. With regards to the historical site in Barra, Negma has indicated to the Ministry of Transport Works and Infrastructure that a memorandum of understanding with the National Council for Arts and Culture was signed between the two institutions last year, leading to the construction of the ferry crossing points at that particular place.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, in Fort Blaine, there is an act says no development, no alterations or demolitions shall be permitted to this area, Fort Blaine, with the 6,2964.5 square meter around the area, in that square meter, should not is gazetted. Why the ministry is giving a permit to the private company to go and demolish the area or to harm the square meter that are indicated in the act? Why?
A point of correction, Honorable Speaker. It is not the responsibility of the Ministry of Transport, Works and Infrastructure to issue a development permit to operators of ferries to construct crossing points in any part of this country. What we do is to give them a license. I think the appropriate ministries should be asked this question, Ministry of Local Government and Lands and Ministry of Tourism, why that MOU had been signed with them and why that development permit was issued to them. Thank you.
Honorable Speaker, Honorable Minister, I think the ferry service is under your domain, under your ministry. Did you make any assessment before this construction will start? And whether have you engaged the Barra people, the communities?
That's what I'm saying, Honorable Member. The responsibility of the ministry is to issue a license. Now, if private operators want to construct landing sites, the process is followed through other ministries. Government is part of a synergized process. When we issue license, but other development processes to see that this process continues through its logical conclusion is also carried out through other ministries. That is why I made it clear in the question, in the answer, that they said they have already signed a memorandum of understanding with the National Council for Arts and Culture. And I told the National Council for Arts and Culture is the custodian of the act that you've quoted. So the burden of proof of why they did that should be on them, not on our ministry.
Member for Central Badebo, you have the floor.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, looking at the ferry services, it has been an act of National Assembly by law. And ferry services is there to provide services to the people. Coming into this agreement with Nemaka, what will be the fate of Gambia ferry services?
These services, Honorable Member for Central Badebo, is that they will continue to operate as provided for by the Act of the National Assembly, and they are still providing those services. Competition within the sector is allowed, and that is why government is also investing in more ferries to enable the ferry services to continue doing its operational mandate as under the Act.
Member for Latikunda Sabiji, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, my intervention is always on government processes and procedures in awarding contracts and supplies. Can you tell the National Assembly how was NEGMA given this ferry license? Which process?
Well, they applied for license, and the license was. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, Honorable Minister, you should always wait. Honorable members, you Honorable members, your question is out of order.
Honorable Speaker, Honorable Minister, mentioned that a deadline of a ferry license. Substantial question. Now I'm asking how was that
Please take your seat. Please take your seat, sir. That question is ruled out.
Honorable Speaker, that question.
Member for Sanimentering, you have the floor.
No, it shouldn't be ruled out.
Who is that?
It shouldn't be ruled out.
Don't do that. You are honorable member for Central Body, but don't do that. Sanimentering, you have the floor. Please, member for Latikunda Sabi. Okay, please take your seat, please.
Okay. Point of order. I'm rising on point of order. Order 43, supplementary questions. Supplementary questions may be put for the purpose of elucidating an oral answer. And the oral answer of the minister, he made mention of this license. So, honorable member of Latikunda is on right track.
Take your seat. You are out of order.
Point of order, Honorable Speaker.
Please.
Point of order, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, there's a point of order from member for Lower Badibu.
Honorable Speaker, orders,
Salu.
orders 8, subclause 3. The Speaker's ruling shall be final on questions of procedure and orders. Thank you. And means Speaker's ruling is final.
If the speech.
Honorable members, order, please allow me to make this ruling. Order sustained, and the honorable member, board member for Central Badibu and Latikunda Sabe, you knew very well. They are just doing that because they are out of order and it's deliberate. And in fact, I want to further state that 3 weeks ago, you remember I made the ruling here because it was a point of order raised by a member for Latikunda Sabiji and someone else. And in fact, the member for Latikunda Sabiji went further to state that members of parliament who disrupt because of lack of awareness, lack of education. He said higher education. He said higher education is important because it will ensure that members maintain the decorum and members abide by the law. So himself, you remember, I even reminded him that very day. So I'm referring this to both him and the member of Central Badibu. Sarimentren, please proceed.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, you've made mention in your response about the MOU being signed, and I am pretty sure that you informed the MOU being signed. Were you able to ask when this MOU being signed, and if so, when? Thank you.
Which MOU is that?
The MOU that you talked about, the one which was signed by the Arts and Culture, and so I think.
No, I did not ask when they signed that and the content of the MOU because that is not under my ministry.
Member for Kiang West, you have the floor.
Withdrawn.
Member for Josuang, you have the floor.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, your ministry being the minister responsible for river transport, my question is, would have been wise before issuing any license to any company to know what their future plans are before issuing the license to them? Being the minister responsible for river transport, it would have been very wise before issuing the license, you know what that company wants to do and where do they want to start carrying on with their work.
Well, actually, every request for operating a ferry or business of this nature, it comes with a business plan. So that business plan is one of the many documents that guides the ministry for issuance of license. So we very much do due diligence on those ones.
Question number 065 of 2025 by the Honorable Member for Lower Salu.
Honorable Speaker, could the Minister of Transport, Works and Infrastructure inform this August Assembly when the road from Kaur checkpoint to river crossings at Wharf Town will be constructed?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. The government, in collaboration with the World Bank, is working on a feasibility study for 500 kilometers of roads. The Kaur Wharf Town Road is included in this feasibility. The said road is not in the first phase of the roads to be constructed. However, it will be considered in the second phase when funds are available.
The member for Latikuna Sabiji, you have the floor.
Thank you very much. Honorable Minister, it's like members of parliament keep asking you about road feasibility studies. Do you have a national master list that you can submit to the National Assembly so that each one of us will know my roads are there?
Well, we have not done the feasibility on the master list. What we have done is the survey. And this survey is with the survey list of about 4,000 to 5,000 kilometers is with the NRA. It is the surveyed roads that, for example, you can put in the Google map to say from Kaur to Wharf Town is how many kilometers, what is needed, and then that information is there. But as an engineer, you know very well that bankable feasibility and detailed designs are so costly and expensive. We cannot, we've not done that. But we have a list of roads surveyed up to 5,000 kilometers. We can supply that to the National Assembly.
Question number 066 of 2025 by the Honorable Member for Lower Badibu.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, I want honest response or reply to this question.
Honorable Member.
Did I ever give an answer which is not honest here?
No, order. Order, please sit down. Take your seat. Order, take your seat. Honorable Member for Latikuna Sabiji, sit down, you hear what I'm going to say. Honorable members, order. You cannot do that. Honorable members are fond of... Yes, sit down. Sit down. No, sit down, please. Let me finish. Honorable members, order. Sabah Sanjal, you people behind, those officials from, I don't know where you come from, don't engage members of parliament on discussion. If they want anything from you, don't respond to them. Ignore them. Those from the ministries, that's instruction from me. Ignore them. Don't answer to them. Just act as if you are Mumune. Honorable Speaker. Don't use your mic.
Point of order.
Put up your mic, please. Don't do that.
Point of order.
Who is that?
Wait. Point of order.
Yeah, just 1 second. Let me finish. Yes. Honorable members are fond of rising to point of order that members or ministers or the vice president are imputing improper motive on them. You cannot, before even asking the minister question, I want an honest. Are you inferring that the minister is not honest?
Speaker, with due respect, I have withdrawn it. I think that's okay.
Thank you. There is a point of order from the nominated member Kebalang Fofana.
Honorable Speaker, my point of order would come against you, just like what the member for Lower Badibu did. It's the same thing you did to members. you are inputting improper motives on members because they have right to interact with the gallery. Thank you.
Honorable
Speaker, withdraw.
Yeah, member follow up, but we continue.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, could the Honorable Minister tell this August Assembly whether Operation Clear or Clean the Roads is only designed and structured for Greater Banjul area, or will it reach other parts of the country, especially Cosmopolitan Center? Thank you.
Honorable Speaker, the operation to clear the roads is not limited to the Greater Banjul area alone. There are indeed plans to extend this initiative to other parts of the country, particularly in cosmopolitan centers. The government recognizes the importance of road safety and the need to ensure free and accessible roads for all citizens. Therefore, in line with our commitment to enhancing public safety and urban development, this operation will gradually be implemented nationwide.
When will the operation reach other parts of the country, especially, as you rightly said, cosmopolitan centers?
Plans are being made, and when the right time comes, we will definitely go nationwide.
Sorry? Is there any time frame? Don't you have any time frame to reach?
Plans are being made, Honorable Member, and when the right time comes, we will implement it.
We need time frame to reach because these are
No.
I cannot give.
No, but you have exhausted your two supplementary questions. I thought members, anyway, let me reserve that. Member for Upper Fuladu, you have your time now.
Yes, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, can you tell this Honorable Assembly one or two good things that your ministry have achieved after this operation Clear the Road?
Well, thank you so much. The first good thing is that at least the roads are clear enough for motorists to access the carriageway. Secondly, it has enhanced safety because until now we have seen what has been happening where people sell on the roads, leading to major accidents in this country. That has minimized thanks to the operation Clear the Roads. And also, more importantly, when we are to engage in road construction in some of these areas, we don't have to go and use meager government resources to demolish and compensate those that have deliberately encroached on the roads.
Member for Sabastanjal, you have the floor.
Honorable Minister, thank you very much for those efforts. Honorable Minister, public safety is very important, especially on the cosmopolitan areas. In which speed ramps plays a very key role. Do you have any plans to extend it to those cosmopolitan areas for public safety?
Thank you, Honorable Member. The National Road Authority is doing a nationwide survey of all the roads, and wherever is needed to put the speed humps, they will be implemented.
Honorable Minister, once a question is asked, give maybe 5-6 seconds to allow the speaker to decide either to admit it or not.
Thank you for that.
Nominated Member Kebalang Fofana, you have the floor.
Honorable Minister, we will all agree that the operation Clean the Road was born out of good intent. But of recent, we've seen some unpleasant scenes which involve the operational team and the people they are trying to clear on the road. So my question would be, on periodic basis, do you make assessments of this operation with regards to the targeted objectives and the operational modes that you'll be using?
Thank you, Honorable Nominated Member. Indeed, it is always the wish of the government to see that these type of operations are done seamlessly without the ugly scenes that we have sometimes witnessed in the social media or in the mainstream media. Anytime the operation ends, of course, a review is conducted and, appropriate advices are given on some of those mistakes. hopefully, if we also get the usual cooperation from the public, some of these things will be ameliorated. But I can assure you that with all good intent and purpose, the operation is carried out for the best interest of the people of this country.
Member for Central Badebo, you have the floor.
Thank you very much. The intent is very clear. But do you have specific measurements from the center of the road to the particular place intended to be demolished? Do you have a specification for it? And the information, do you inform the persons on time before demolition?
It depends which part of the road we are clearing. For example, if it is a major highway, normally it's 20 meters on either side of the carriageway. If it is the normal roads within the suburban areas, is 10 meters of the main highway and 3 meters on each side. So depending on where you are, of course, they are guided by those issues. Secondly, yes, before the operation is carried out, radio messaging is always spread across the respective target areas, and also the councils in some cases are also notified to inform the people that have encroached on the roads that the operation clear the roads will be coming. And in some cases they are given up to a week, and this constant messaging is carried out on the radio and television as well, and in some cases also in the social media. Thank you.
Member for Kiang West, you have the floor.
Honorable Minister, the question was actually on the communication on the local inhabitants and that of the councils and the media communications. But however, and from other incidents, controversies between the clearing team and other communities, what were some of the further engagements that you've done with the communities after those controversies to make the public understand as to what you're doing, particularly those that are affected?
Well, two things basically. The briefing is always critical, and the information is normally sent back, especially to market committees, because in most cases what we have seen is the markets that are most affected are probably in Brikama and also Coastal Road. And those market committees are given the information that they should encourage people to sell within the boundaries of the market, and then allow free access of vehicles and services, and also for their own safety also, because in some cases ambulances or other emergency services would have to need to access even the inside markets, to ensure that they are properly accessed. So those information are given to the committees, but also, the municipalities, we engage them sometimes also about the outcome, and the security forces who actually normally deal with the communities on some of those issues.
Question number 067 of 2025 by the Honorable Member for Brikama South.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, could the Honorable Minister for Transport, Works and Infrastructure confirm to this August Assembly if the buses bought by the Social Security for GTSC
68 of 2025 by the Honorable Member for Brikama South.
Honorable Speaker, could the Honorable Minister for Transport, Works and Infrastructure inform the August Assembly when the construction of Brikama-Jida Babanjai Highway through Jida Police Station to Tubakuta will commence, since the studies have been completed and a design was put out by your predecessor and his team?
Thank you, Honorable Member. Honorable Speaker, the Brikama-Jida Babanjai Highway is a planned project that has already undergone the necessary studies. However, its implementation is currently on hold due to lack of funding. The government is actively engaging with various development partners to secure the necessary financial resources and initiate construction as soon as possible.
Question number 069 of 2025 by the Honorable Member for Combo East.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, could the Honorable Minister for Transport, Works and Infrastructure update this August Assembly on the status of the Narang Road construction?
Thank you, Honorable Member. Honorable Speaker, the preparatory works for the Narang roads have already begun with 9 out of 15 kilometers already cleared. The contractor is currently putting together mobilization mechanisms to begin works in April.
Question number 070 of 2025 by the Honorable Member for Brikama North, and he authorized the member for Brikama South.
Honorable Speaker, last year in response to my question, the Honorable Minister for Transport, Works and Infrastructure told the August Assembly that the Brikama Kasakunda Nyofele Madina Gunju Road has been reconstructed. And since then, there has been no sign of the commencement of the construction. Could the Honorable Minister reliably inform this August Assembly the state of the contract and the time for the commencement of the work?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. As I said, the contract was being recontracted. The Brikama Kasakunda Nyofele Madina Gunju Road is in the final stages of the procurement process. The contract is expected to be signed very soon. In fact, the advertisements are already in the newspapers, paving the way for the construction work to commence in the second quarter of 2025.
Honorable Minister, you said the commencement will begin second quarter of 2025. Do we have a specific date for the commencement?
We are very hopeful that before end of April we will be ready with the procurement process. That I am sure, because I think we are in the last stage of the process for the advertisements to end, and then we go into the bidding process for the contract to be awarded. And once the contract is awarded, the design for this particular road is already done. It's just to issue the contract and then they start work.
Member for Latikunda Sabiji, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, in contractual terms, when the contract is recontracted, it means the previous contract is terminated. What was the cause for the previous contracts to be terminated? Thank you.
Well, the cause was that this particular lot was given to Areski, but because they were busy on the Battle Harden, now the OIC road, so they could not actually be mobilized on this. So government had to take a conscious decision to repurpose the, this particular lot from Areski and then re-advertise. Yeah.
Member for Sabasanjar.
Thank you. My question has been asked already.
071, question number 071 of 20. Sorry, Member for Joswang, you have the floor.
Honorable Minister, were they charged for default? Charged for default?
No, we did not charge them for default because the contract would have remained with them until and it could cause delays. So we took a conscious decision last year to de-scope from them and then, give it to another contract through competitive bidding.
Member for Sanementreng, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, Was there any charges attached to it when the contract was initially given to Areski? And did they pay back? Thank you. Was there any charges attached to it when the contract was given to them, Areski, I mean? And did they pay back when the contract was?
Honorable Member, that question was asked and answered. Question number 071 of 2025 by the Honorable Member for Brikama North and the Member for Brikama South will read on his behalf.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, last year in response to my question, the Honorable Minister for Transport, Works and Infrastructure had reliably informed this August Assembly that the Jaleba Road at Brikama Nyamba had been contracted and work had started. But from June to July 2024, the work stopped all of a sudden. Could the Honorable Minister for Transport, Work and Infrastructure explain to this August Assembly why the work has promptly stopped and when will it resume and be completed?
Thank you, Honorable Member. Honorable Speaker, construction work was halted due to budgetary constraint that particular stretch of road faced. However, following recent payments to the contractor, work has resumed and is expected to be completed by end of June 2025.
Honorable Minister, currently, if you go to the road, the construction has stopped tentatively. And in fact, some of the equipment has been transferred.
Honorable Member, you asked the same question. You said the works have stopped, and then since then they have withdrawn, and you ask him when would work begin again.
Honorable Speaker,
no. Don't speak. Don't overlap. Don't speak over the phone. And he said it was stopped because of finances. And then now, following payment to contractors, the work has commenced again, and it will finish June.
I am saying it has been halted again.
Now, when you go, then and you find out that it is stopped again, the next question.
Honorable Speaker, no. Honorable Speaker, point of order.
Honorable members, please, that corner. You are my neighbors, but very hostile neighbors. Please. So, please. No. Honorable members, you cannot sit there and sit here.
Honorable Speaker, there is point of order.
Order, please. Order. Honorable members, I agree, I can't sit here and sit there. That is why when you sit there, yes, there's a point of order, I'll come to you. Yeah, when you sit there, you are expected also only to sit there, not to sit there and sit here. No, wait, honorable members, please. I am not even using the fact that my rulings are final. But as per the standing orders, a question asked and fully answered cannot be asked again. Honorable members. No. Please, my these neighbors. All right, then you are my bad neighbors. So,
withdraw that statement. Bad neighbors. No.
they like to intimidate me. All of them will shout at once. But I am never provoked by their intimidation and bullying. So, there is a point of order from the member for Nyipintankaranai.
Honorable Speaker, I'm rising on point of order 43, 1 and 2. Supplementary questions may be asked. The supplementary question may be put for the purpose of elucidating an oral answer. 2. The member in whom
page of work has happened since then. In fact, I mean, you see, when you are doing road construction, you don't need all equipment. At the same time in the place. The things that you say equipment been moved, those ones are not needed anymore because at ground level instead. To stop people from even, but you see that they even caught those ones and close. In some cases,
the crossing. When you cross the flyovers,
yeah, actually, because it is at the major intersection, of Old Yundum Sunchu Road coming in.
Yes, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister I even wanted to ask that question concerning about this zebra.
Transport Union. Times direct engagement. Teachers will be on the battle on the OIC road. And that will end of face. No. The traffic lights. Yeah, the traffic, yeah.
Sanimentering, you have the floor.
Honorable Speaker, I withdraw. Thank you. It's been answered.
Member for Serekunda.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, the question is about overhead crossing points. Have your ministry learned lesson from the recent thought of entering into this
order? Honorable members, order. Order. Honorable member for Serekunda, your question would be better off if you place a substantive question to his ministry. It introduces a new element that is never in the original question, no answers provided.
Honorable Speaker, I don't want to enter into polemics with you here, but the issue is about pedestrians flyover. So you can use your own discretion to answer this, but this is about national issue. We have seen that so many people have lost their lives on that very high.
Thank you very much. Honorable member for Serekunda, I appreciate the fact that you are very well knew that it's a new element. That is why in your justification, you agree that it's about pedestrians flyovers. But for national interest, you said you want to bring underground tunnel. Please put up a substantive question to the minister. Thank you. Question number 073 of 2025 by the Honorable Member for Woolly East. Woolly West. Pardon me.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Withdrawn.
Honorable Minister, Honorable Member for Woolly, order please. Honorable Member for Woolly West, Woolly West, you should have told us why are you withdrawing. Anyway, question number 074. Question number 074 of 2025 by the Honorable Member for Banjul Central.
Honorable Speaker, following a briefing from project consultant of the Banjul rehabilitation project, in which he stated that there will be additional pavements done, would the Honorable Minister for Transport, Works and Infrastructure update this August Assembly on the status of the project and why streets like Lancaster and Perseverance are yet to have new pavements?
Thank you, Honorable Member. Honorable Speaker, the overall progress in the construction of the concrete pavements stand at 95.7% of the streets in the original scope of the project, while 97% of the streets in the addendum number 2. In tandem, the contractor has been working on the additional streets that were introduced through variation number 2. The other 2 roads mentioned by the Honorable Member are indeed part of variation order 2 and will be reconstructed before the end of the contract.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Tentatively, can you tentatively provide a timeline?
The contract has a timeline to be finished, I think, before end of this year. So we are very hopeful that these 2 roads would have been constructed or would have been reconstructed because they were already done some years ago. So they would have been done before the end of the contract and then an eventual handover of this particular project to the government.
Member for Latikunda Sabiji, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, you may prefer to call it addendum or you may prefer to call it variation. Now, tell us this variation or this addendum, how much money it attracted the project, that is the overall cost on the project. If the project was 14 million, after these 2 addendums, how much is the project cost now?
Point of order, Honorable Speaker.
There is point of order from nominated member Kebalang Fofana.
Honorable Speaker, I'm rising on 44.3. Supplementary questions should not add new elements that were not in the original question or the answers provided by the ministers. The variations, addendum, or whatever the honorable member is referring to is a new element that was not in the original question or anywhere in the answers that were provided by the minister. Thank you.
Nominated member Kebalang Fofana, he talks about addendum and there was no addendum project, something like that.
Honorable Minister, Honorable Speaker, if you look at the original question, what the member is asking is a follow-up after a meeting with the contractor, where it was stated that pavements,
yes, of Lancaster and Perseverance,
will be added. Okay, so what the minister's response was that the project will conclude around the end of this year, and then these pavements will be done. So where the honorable member is coming from is to say whether variations or addendum, those are engineering words I don't want to go into. But what I can authoritatively state is there was no addendum mentioned in the original question or the responses provided. Thank you.
No, there was no mention of addendum to the contractor or contract and also variation. So if that is the case, honorable members, the minister stated thus: the overall progress in the construction of the concrete pavement stands at 95.7%. of the street in the original scope of the project and 97% of the streets in addendum number 2 in tandem. The contractor has been working on the additional streets that were introduced through variation number 2. The 2 roads mentioned are indeed part of variation order 2 and will be reconstructed before the end of the contract. What is your question? What was your question? What was your question?
My question to the Honorable Minister was, he mentioned addendum and variation. I said, this addendum and variation, how does it affect the overall project cost? That was my question.
Minister, please provide answers.
Honorable Speaker, I don't have the actual cost in at hand here, but of course, when you say addendum, it means you are adding additional scope to the original, and that will of course increase from your original amount set for the project to a new amount. So I can't remember exactly what is the new amount, but of course there has been an addition because you are talking about a variation to the original scope of work. I don't know why the honorable member wants to ask, because he's an engineer working, so.
Question number 075 of 2025 by the honorable member for Yamina is, he authorized Jarawes to read on his behalf.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I rise to read this question on behalf of the member for Yamina East. Honorable Speaker, the road network from Kudang to Kudang Tenda is less than 4 kilometers and very crucial for the people of the area, especially during the trade season. By heavy trucks that transport groundnut, could the Honorable Minister tell this August Assembly what plans does the ministry have to conduct the said road?
Thank you, Honorable Member. Honorable Speaker, as said in my earlier question, as said in my answer to an earlier question about the roads in Yamina, the government is in an advanced discussion stage with a contractor that wants to pre-finance roads in the whole of the Yaminas. Once technical discussions have been completed, surveys will be conducted on many of these roads in Yamina, including the Kudang to the Riverside Road.
Thank you very much. Thank you. No supplement.
Question number 076 of 2025 by the honorable member for Sane Mentre.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Could the Honorable Minister for Transport, Works and Infrastructure furnish this August Assembly why there is only one ferry service currently at Banjul-Barra? Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Honorable Speaker, please be informed that the second ferry, Kanilai, was undergoing general rehabilitation and re-engineering, including replating, repainting, replacement of engines with 4 new marine diesel heavy-duty engines being procured, installation of 4 new shuttle propulsion systems, cooling and hydraulic systems. The 4 new engines have already been installed on the ferry, and the remaining parts will be fixed around the end of the month.
Honorable Speaker, you said the service or the maintenance will be ready around the end of the month. When exactly are you planning for the ferry to be brought back to the sea? Thank you.
When are we what?
When will it start its services again, operation?
Well, we are hopeful that by the second week of April, Kanilai would be operational. That is definitely our target.
Opanyomi and Chief Whip of the majority.
Honorable Speaker, thank you very much. But this one is our interest as Yomenkas. Yes, Honorable Minister, we were hopeful that the Barra ferry, Kanilai ferry will start operation before the Corte prayer. Yes. Why delays for another extra 2 weeks?
Well, actually, the vessel that's supposed to bring the propulsion systems actually was somehow delayed in Cotonou because the cargo actually came through Brussels and no, from not Cotonou but Douala. We are now hopeful that by the 24th of this month, the vessel would have arrived. Now, subject to the queuing system that we have now, it may be delayed for another few days, maybe 2-3 days before it can finally berth. And then when the goods are cleared, of course, it has to go through an engineering system to fix. So that is why we are now saying that second week of April. Yeah.
Member for Fonye Bintankarana, you have the floor.
I withdraw because my question is asked.
Member for Central Badibu.
Yes, Honorable Minister, would it be prudent for you to be updating the people about these plans that you have in hand in case there are delays? Because the time that was given before, it was not realistic, it was not possible. But I think it's ideal for you to inform the public about these delays.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Indeed, I mean, that is very true. We have a weekly radio program on Nyomi FM where we engage the people directly. I will convey this very important suggestion to the team so that they can inform the people accordingly.
Member for Banjul North, you have the floor.
Honorable Speaker, I withdraw. My question is the same as the member for Banjul.
Thank you. Member for Woolly East, you have the floor.
Yes, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, is your ministry thinking of putting a standby ferry in case of such breakdowns? Because that's just, yeah.
Yes, we are currently procuring 2 additional new ferries, one of which will arrive hopefully before the end of this year in December. And that will eventually give us 3 ferries to play with. And then the 4th one, which is also another green new ferry, will be delivered within the 6 months after the 4th one has been delivered. So we are very hopeful that now from this, the ferry services can go for 24 hours operation, while at the same time some ferries can be resting, and undergoing some real maintenance, to cater for, any eventuality.
Question number 077 of 2025 by the Honorable Member for Sanemente.
Thank you very much again, Honorable Speaker. This is a follow-up question for the Honorable Minister for Transport, Works and Infrastructure to inform this August Assembly for the monthly cost of on Banjul-Barra ferries, maintenance on services per ferry. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Honorable Speaker, please be informed that the monthly maintenance cost for the Kunta Kinte and Kanilai ferries plying the Banjul-Barra crossing points is currently at $10.5 million. Note that this is when both ferries operate. The biggest cost component in is the maintenance of the ferries, which is fueling at $7.4 million, followed by procurement of spare parts at $2.7 million, and the remaining $0.4 million is for the procurement of lubricants, dredging, and other miscellaneous expenses.
No further question, Honorable Speaker. Thank you.
Question number 078 of 2025 by the Honorable Member for Lower Nyomi.
Honorable Speaker, this is a similar question though, but I want to read it and then so that it will be on record. Honorable Speaker.
Honorable, you are not audible. I'm not sure.
I want to read this question, though it's kind of the same, but I just want to read it so that it will be on record. Yeah. Honorable Speaker, could the Honorable Minister of Transport, Works and Infrastructure update this August Assembly when is the rehabilitated Kanilai ferry is going to start operating?
I'm not sure I heard you say that it is the same, so you are only reading this, but you are withdrawing or what?
Yes, this question is the same as what the Sani mentoring question.
Thank you. That question is on record, and do we proceed now? Oh, okay. Thank you, Member for Lower Nyomi. So you want the previous answer suffice for you. Thank you. Question number 079 of 2025 by the Honorable Member for Lower Nyomi.
Honorable Speaker, a couple of months ago, the Gambia has signed a contract to purchase 2 new green ferries. Could the Honorable Minister of Works, Transport and Infrastructure update this August Assembly when these new ferries are expected in the country?
Thank you, Honorable Member. Honorable Speaker, please be informed that the contract signed for the 2 new green ferries were to be financed in 2 different ways. One through the African Development Bank grant of 85% and to GPA with 15% counterpart contribution by the authority, while the second one was for 100% buyer credit financing by the Gambia Ports Authority. The first one is at an advanced stage of construction to be delivered by end December 2025 as per the contractual milestones. As for the second one, the financing structure is currently being finalized, and it is hoped that it will be concluded for delivery after 6 months of the first delivery in 2025.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. No further question.
Yeah, it was also answered in his other answer. Yeah, Member for Central Badem, you have the floor.
Honorable Minister, you mean the other part that's going to be fully sponsored by GPA is not yet ready to be signed, or is already signed?
So, we signed the contract already by the financing agreement. That's what is being finalized. But the contract has already been signed.
Upper Fuladu West, you have the floor.
Yes, thank you so much. Honorable Minister, like you talk about signing of these 2 ferries. Like the question that I want to ask, when these 2 ferries are in town, what economic benefit are they going to bring to the country?
Honorable Member, we don't run the ferries for economic benefit. Most of these ferries run on social services. And the Gambia Ferry Services does not actually charge the commercial rate for the ferries because we are a service provider that looks at public concerns also. Notwithstanding, it will add to the ongoing economic activities and then also link the north and the capital and enhance trade and safety also, because in the absence of the ferries, people use small boats. Now, with the ferries, safety is enhanced, and also trade and commerce, are also, expedited and encouraged and enhanced.
Member for Lower Nyomi and Majority Chief Whip. Upper Nyomi, rather, and Majority Chief Whip.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, are you going to ensure that the deadline for the delivery of these two new ferries would not be further delayed?
Well, I can be very certain that
Point of order.
There is point of order.
First ferry will be
Honorable
delivered.
Minister, there is point of order. Remember for Serekunda. Can we hear that?
Of order 38. G. A question shall not be asked for the purpose of obtaining expression or opinion, the solution of an abstract case. Yeah. The member is trying to sound the opinion of the Honorable Minister. He's not asking the ministry, but the minister instead. So,
What do you think?
Honorable Member for opinion, can you repeat the same question again?
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I was asking the Honorable Minister that the deadline given for the delivery of these two new ferries would not be further delayed. Is it ensuring that the contractor will keep to the date of the delivery of the two new ferries?
Opanyomi, I don't think that was what you asked. No, I want you to repeat exactly what you said earlier on.
Honorable Speaker, that's what I said. That was what I said.
No, because in your question, I clearly heard you as whether he think, and now you have not said that. I want you to repeat exactly what you told him.
Honorable Speaker, I didn't say that. What I've said is what I've just said. So you asked me to repeat your question, I repeat it. Why are you asking me again new thing, which I don't say? You don't put words into my mouth. So let the Honorable Minister answer, please.
Honorable Member, you know, you told him, Honorable Minister, do you think?
You asked me to repeat my question. I repeat, you heard me.
Okay, repeat it again.
Honorable Minister, are you going to ensure that the time for delivery of these two new ferries will not be further delayed again?
It's already another point of order 38J.
Yes, there was a point of order. Let me rule on that first. Because to be honest, he changed his question 3 times. So therefore, I probably may not be in a position to exactly know now what was his first question. But I think I heard him kind of sounding the opinion of the minister's personal opinion. But when I asked him to repeat it, he changed. And the third one again, another one also. So, because of I didn't get the first, what he said first. Minister, did you hear his first? His first. Can you please kindly repeat his first question to you? The first
Observations, Honorable Speaker.
Now you observe when somebody is on the floor.
I'm observing you.
No, I'm not on the floor.
No, the question you just asked the minister, that's what I want to observe. I'm observing the proceedings. Can I come in?
No. Because unless if you heard what he said, the opinion, because that's the only thing I want to hear.
Honorable Speaker, what I wanted to say
No. I haven't given you the floor yet.
No, you don't know whether I had the question he asked.
No.
I had the question, if you allow me.
Is that what you want to tell us?
Yes.
His question?
Yes.
Yes, go ahead.
Honorable Speaker, the first, second, and third question he asked clearly were elucidating the opinion of the minister. That's clear. Honorable Minister, will you ensure? It's not about the minister, it is the minister. So all of it is sufficient. The main reason I'm saying this now, I didn't want to intervene, but I don't think.
Yeah. No. No, nominated member. Nominated member, go ahead. You know, it's because
what I'm saying is, it should not be difficult for you to rule.
No.
We all know my chief whip, my honorable chief whip, was really elucidating the mind of the minister, not the ministry. So you can simply rule, we move.
Point of order, Honorable Speaker. Speaker, point of order on you. I have a point of order on you, Honorable Speaker.
Okay.
Point of...
Honorable, you forgot you raised a point of order, and I'm finding it difficult to rule because I didn't get to understand his first question. I asked him, but I realized there was an element that he mentioned in his first questions, and he did not bring it on during the second time. I asked him again. He asked his question 3 times, meaning he knew very well, or he's doing it deliberately. He knew very well your order makes sense.
Sorry.
Now, no, I don't speak.
Now, the way and manner.
Honorable, don't speak, please. Honorable, you are honorable. Order. You rose to a point of order. You want me to rule on that? Don't be out of order. So, because I didn't hear and no one told me, that's why I was asking the minister if he had. Maybe I would have, the minister would have to tell me what he have said. But, so that is, nominated member Kebalang, that was the only objective. Because the minister is very close to him. Maybe he must have heard what he said. And then, but I know he used the word, minister, do you think? That one I had. But the rest, I didn't. And I asked him, he changed it again. That shows that his questions, he was sounding the opinion.
Speaker, the question will be, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Speaker,
Honorable members, most of the time it's difficult to rule on orders raised by the member for Serekunda because he will rise to a point of order and continuously he will be violating the procedures. He will be out of order constantly. He won't even allow you to make the ruling. You see, it's incorrect for you to say that I am asking the minister to rule or to administer, to admit question. No. We are all here. We knew it was difficult to get to hear what the member was said from my end. And then I asked the minister if the minister really heard him. And that is in order to ask the vice president, minister, or member of the parliament answering on behalf of the authority if he or she had clearly a question posed to him or her. You know that. But the question was raised by a member for Serekunda and further explained by nominated member Kebalang Fofana is out of order. And the member knew that now very well. He withdrew. And your order sustained. But there is another point of order you said on the speaker. I have ruled on that one. No, he said he has a point of order, Serekunda, before ruling on his point of order.
Yes, that's 39, Speaker's duty as to questions. The Speaker, subject to Standing Order 38, shall be the sole judge of the admissibility of a question, but not the Minister. And you are trying to shift your responsibility to the Minister. Thank you very much.
Honorable Member for Serekunda, you know that's false. That's not accurate. You are out of order. No, you are out of order. You are out of order. Question number 080 of 2025 by the Honorable Member for Lower Nyomi.
Honorable Speaker, it's been 3 years now. I have been crying for poor road network in my constituency of Lower Nyomi. Could the Honorable Minister of Works, Transport and Infrastructure inform this August Assembly when is his ministry's plan to construct some of these feeder roads in my constituency?
Thank you, Honorable Member. Honorable Speaker, the government, in collaboration with various funding agencies, is actively conducting feasibility studies and planning the construction of roads across the country. As part of this initiative, several feeder roads in the North Bank region have been identified for assessment and potential construction.
Correct. North Bank you've mentioned is vague. I mean my constituency of Lower Nyomi. Please be specific.
Thank you, Honorable Member. I guess your constituency is part of the wider North Bank region, and we are doing road assessment in that area. Hopefully, when funds are available, your constituency also will be considered.
Thank you very much. I wish we will be part of that program.
Yes, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, can you inform this Assembly which area in Lower Nyomi is your ministry planning to construct the road?
Honorable Speaker, we have been given a list of roads by members of the National Assembly. These have been submitted to the National Road Authority, and they have been collated and they have been surveyed. Now what is left is when funds are available, those roads would be considered within the North Bank region and also the Lower Nyomi.
Question number 081 of 2025 by the Honorable Member for Joshua.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, Honorable Speaker, could the Honorable Minister for Transport, Works and Infrastructure inform this August Assembly why the road construction of P1 in the New Zone has certain areas without gutters or shallow drains, considering the circumstances that there might be disaster during the rainy season?
Thank you, Honorable Member. Honorable Speaker, shallow drains have been constructed on one side and the road surface aligned to fall in the direction of the drain to facilitate surface water running off into the drain. The approach was chosen due to the constraints on the right-of-way to continue with our standard road widths and also considering the need to minimize demolitions. In addition, roads P1 and P3 pass through a swampy area, making them susceptible to flooding. To enhance durability and resilience, a concrete pavement with sidewalks was implemented. The normal V drains or the normal U drains were not a feasible option on this particular stretch due to the high water table in these locations.
Honorable Minister, going through the construction and then around this area that I am referring to, if you look at the thickness of the concrete pavement and the compound within that area, when it's rain, there will be no accessibility of the flow of water from those compounds. What plan do you have for those compounds within the area?
Honorable Member, but you know that as a contractor, people are not supposed to empty their runoff water on the road. That is law, even in this country. What we are doing as a ministry is to ensure that the center of the road is used as a drainage for runoff water. Now, those that are adjacent to these roads, especially in the P1 section 07 area that you have mentioned, we have already toured the particular area on Saturday with the president, and this particular issue came up. So the engineers are going to work on a plan to ensure that the minimal impact is felt during the rainy season.
Honorable Minister, these people are not emptying water or anything from their compounds. This is the rainwater within the compound that is being blocked by the pavement. If there is no solution to this, there will be big disaster within that area. What solution do you think that you can think of that kind of administration?
Well, as far as I see, the pavement blocks are always, in fact, are par with the level of the compounds. Well, I've not seen that. I've not seen. What I have seen is that the pavements are created in such a way that they are like a bend shape. So water that is coming, running water that is coming, no, hold on please, rainwater that is coming from the compounds will be on the drains and then empty on the road. The road is now serving as a natural running off drain. Unless in compounds that probably they are deep down, we cannot do anything about those ones because the way they are constructed, they are naturally below the ground level. Those ones we cannot do anything about it because even when it rains naturally, even without the roads, they are still flooded because they are naturally below the ground level.
Member for Latikunda Sabaji, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, these OIC roads from P1 to P20 were all designed with gutters and shallow drains. Now, if there is a departure in this on P1, there must, by way of design, there must be a design differential. Now, tell us how much is that design differential. If you don't know, your engineers can tell you how much the state is able to cost, or the state is able to save as far as that design differential is concerned.
In terms of cost, I cannot remember that, Honorable. You know that very well. I cannot come here and give you that it is this amount of the price differential for the variation from the original scope of the design. I cannot, that is not possible. Because these are in the detailed cost implications that you can only remember when you have the contract in your hand. A contract which is as thick as maybe 200 and something pages with the designs. So that is not possible. What we know is that those compounds that are below the ground level, those ones, we have been talking to the contractors and the consultant on Saturday to come up with an ameliorative efforts to see that, there is minimal impact when it rains. The rest of those compounds that are apart with, the ground level, the footpaths are designed in such a way that they are a bend shape. So when water comes from the compound round, remember, we are not saying sewage because we have seen that people are already emptying their sewage on the newly constructed roads. What we are talking here is rainwater. When it rains, the water will come off on the footpath and then, pour on the road, and the road is serving, because it's concrete road, it will serve as a natural runoff drainage system. That one, we can guarantee that. But those compounds that are below the ground level, that is already a problem that the community has been facing with, which is not caused by the construction of the roads. And I think that should be made clear, because in the rainy season, some of these things can occur, and people will say that, oh, because they have constructed the roads, now we are facing drainage. That is far from the truth.
Member for Kiang West, you have the floor.
Honorable Minister, what could be the possible negative impact of this situation if that response you are talking about is not being given before the rainy season?
Well, all design solutions are being done to ensure that we have minimal impact of this road construction on the adjacent communities or, compound owners. However, remember that in most part of Joshua, going to Ibo town, going to some parts in Talindim Farokono, people have constructed or have settled in areas that are in swampy area. And their compounds are built in such a way that they are below the ground level, to the point that the water table sometimes, can actually come up and then, cover the yards. We have seen that, that can go until even March, after every rainy season. So that is not because of the construction of the roads. That is because they have settled on the grounds and they have not elevated the foundations to a point that their compounds will not be affected by rainwater. Now, what we can do as a ministry is to continue to work with the National Disaster Agency and other government agencies responsible for this type of activities to concertedly work together and then minimize the risk of flooding on these compound owners, which actually has been an annual occurrence anyway.
Member for Lower Nyomi, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. The Sankung Silla Highway is part of New Joswang, and it is in a very, very bad condition. Is your ministry planning to construct that highway to be part of the projects going on there?
Honorable Member for Lower Nyomi, I'm not so. Honorable Member for Lower Nyomi.
Honorable, I just want to tell the honorable member that we have surveyed the road. It's not part of this original scope, but we are talking to the consultants in case there are savings. This Sankunsila and the Gasem Road, we have already surveyed them, they have costed, and when the savings are made, we have already told the contractor that if savings are made on that project, they can do that for the community as well. Yes.
Honorable Minister.
How do you know?
Honorable Minister.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister.
Honorable Minister. Honorable Minister, when it comes to the Minister for Works and Transport and the matter of roads, members may always try to dribble the system and get in what they want. He's from Lower Nyomi, but maybe he lives in around that end. That is why he was doing that. So thank you, the Honorable Minister for Transport, Works and Infrastructure, for those answers provided to this August Assembly. You may go now. Clerk, Fisheries. Clerk, Fisheries.
Thank you. Question for oral answers continues. Question for oral answers, the Honorable Minister for Fisheries and Water Resources.
Honorable Minister for Fisheries and Water Resources, you may proceed to the podium. You may proceed to the podium. Questions for which due notices were given to the Honorable Minister for Fisheries and Water Resources by honorable members for oral reply. Question number 110 of 2025 by the Honorable Member for Combo East.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, for the interest of the House, the updates that I wanted to know has been provided, and that he has done it well. I'm withdrawing my question, sir.
Thank you very much, honorable members. That was the long question the Minister for Fisheries, Water Resources and National Assembly Matters had. So I want to thank him on your behalf for coming. Thank you, Honorable Minister. Clerk, we may proceed.
Thank you. Question for oral answers. The Honorable Minister for Lands, Regional Government and Religious Affairs.
Thank you. The Honorable Minister for Lands, Regional Government and Religious Affairs, you may take the podium. Questions for which due notices were given to the Honorable Minister for Lands, Regional Government and Religious Affairs for oral reply. Question number Question number 090 of 2025 by the Honorable Member for Brikama South.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Would the Honorable Minister for Lands, Regional Government and Religious Affairs update this August Assembly on the status of the roadmap development in connection to Das Lame border demarcation between the Gambia and the Republic of Senegal?
Honorable Speaker, I wish to inform this August Assembly that the Gambian National Border Commission and the Senegalese Border Commission have established a joint border commission and developed a roadmap for joint activities on border management by the two countries. In February 2025, the joint Senegalo-Gambian Border Commission engaged in a sensitization exercise in the borders of the North Bank, Central River and Upper River regions. As part of its activities, the Joint Commission visited Dashilame Tuba Tranquil border areas on the 27th of February 2025 and recommended a joint technical mission in March 2025. Honorable Speaker, the demarcation between the Gambia and Senegal Dashilame Tuba Tranquil will be carried out once the Joint Commission has completed their activities and identified its sites.
Honorable Minister, I vividly remember that the contentious area at the border remains as a buffer, and currently the former permanent secretary was asked with the team to develop the roadmap. The emphasis is what stage is the development of the roadmap as per the demarcation of this border, which is very, very important right now.
Mr. Speaker, let me inform the honorable member that I'm limiting myself to the information I have given you here. This is a very sensitive issue and the technical committees are working on it, and be rest assured that this government desire to resolve this crisis as soon as possible.
Honorable Minister, I know it's sensitive, but it's also very important for us to fast track the process. Even last week, there were a series of crises there where people have been assaulted seriously. And without the production of the roadmap, where the permanent secretary sits under your ministry, under your watch, can you kindly update us about the stage in which they are? Because it's more than a year when this was done, when they were assigned to do this.
Honorable Speaker, let me inform the member of Brikama South. Work is ongoing and we are determined to resolve this problem as soon as possible.
The Honorable Member for Central Badebo, you have the floor.
Honorable Speaker, thank you. Honorable Minister, this House will not be convinced of seriousness of your ministry and the government as far as Das Lame border issue is concerned, because all the time we get reports from Senegalese troops entering into Gambia. So if care is not taken, this thing can go out of hand. We want to know how soon. And if you say you have a roadmap and measures, what kind of measures the House need to know?
Speaker, I want to disagree with the member for Central Badibu. This government is very serious and concerned about the issue of this border issue. I want to reassure him that once the technical committees complete their job, this matter will be resolved.
Honorable Member for Latikuda Sabaji, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, I have not been more confused in this National Assembly than I am right now. We became independent in 1965. By way of that, we know our sovereign border. So what is this new demarcation of border between Senegal is concerned? I'm confused. What is this new demarcation about?
Honorable Speaker, let me inform the member for Latikunda Sabeji that the issue of border crisis is not new in Africa. By virtue of our colonial dividing our continent, communities who were living together, this border crisis will live to exist with it. However, a determined and a responsible government like this government will always engage its counterpart to find a solution.
Member for Same, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for the floor. Honorable Minister, this issue, is it going to be resolved before the end of 2025?
I wish it can be resolved in next month. That's my wish.
The member for Woolly East, you have the floor.
Yes, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, what possible measures is your ministry aiming to act in the absence of demarcation? What other measures are you thinking of so that this problem, even if it is not addressed right now, but at least there will be amicable understanding of the two communities that are in that border?
If the honorable member for Woolly is in my earlier answer to the question, I've talked about the sensitization that was carried out by the two border commissions. That's one of the measures we are taking to sensitize and educate people about this issue. And it is very fruitful.
Member for Fonye Councillor, you have the floor.
Yeah, thank you very much. Honorable Minister, as a ministry in the issue of Dasilame border demarcation, what are the major challenges that your ministry is facing in addressing this crisis? What are your major challenges that you are facing as a minister?
The major challenge is to demarcate the area, to know who stops where, who owns what, and that is being done now. We're working on that. Once the demarcation is done, it will be laid to rest.
Question number 091 of 2025 by the Honorable Member for Brikama South.
Honorable Speaker, could the Honorable Minister for Lands, Regional Government and Religious Affairs inform this August Assembly as to what stage the ministry is at in the preparation of the land policy, considering the numerous land issues in the country?
Honorable Speaker, let me inform the Honorable Member that I am happy to report to this August Assembly that consultation leading to the consultation and formulation of the national land policy across length and breadth of the country are successfully completed. A draft national land policy 2026-2035 has since been prepared, and copies of which have been and continue to be circulated to all stakeholders with a view to getting their final inputs and feedback so as to guide the finalization of the policy. To this end, a national validation of the policy is slated for 9th of May 2025, of which you, the honorable members, all of you will be invited to attend.
The member for Upper Fulad West, you have the floor.
Yes, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, thank you so much for your response. The only thing that I want to ask, as far as land issue is a concern in this country, and then since you came into office as the Minister of Land, what success story can you share with this Honorable Assembly as far as handling land matters is concerned?
Mr. Speaker, there's a new question. I want the honorable member to send a question on this issue to my office, and I'll be happy to respond. Speaker, point of order.
There are a lot of point of orders, but I want to state that the question is out of order. Yes, there's a point of order, member for.
It's okay. I say if the question is out of order, then it's okay. So
there is another point of order from Ulis. Yes.
Yes, thank you, Honorable Speaker. I'm rising on a point of order 39-1. Yes, 39-1. Yes. Subject to standing order 38 shall be the sole judge of the admissibility of questions. Not the minister. It's you who should rule out. But the minister is ruling the question out, referring the question to another place. So,
yes, order sustained. Honorable Minister, yes, he is right. You should allow me to, when they ask supplementary questions, allow maybe 10 seconds so that I will come on board before you answer it. Okay, okay, see. The member for Banjul Central, you have the floor.
My question was answered by the minister.
Thank you. Latikunda Sabiji.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, I'm lucky because I asked the Honorable Attorney General last time. He said this falls under your purview. Now, this land policy you're talking about, has it catered land leasing process to reduce the length of land leasing process? And also to reduce the number of land administrators? Because in this country, Alcalo land administrator, district authority land administrator, and Ministry of Lands as land administrator. In a progressive policy, only the Ministry of Local Government should be the land administrator. This policy is your ministry the only land administrator, or still we are going to have alcalos and district authorities as land?
Honorable Minister, go ahead.
Honorable Speaker, I wish to inform the member for Latikunda constituency that the draft policy is all over the wall. You can access it, read it, make your comments and recommendations. When we go for validation, you can bring them forward. Open for every Gambian. For the first time, you have a policy open to every Gambian, every stakeholder all over the world. Read the policy, make your recommendation, and bring it forward when we go to validation in October. We'll send it to you. If he's asking for copies, we'll send it to you on software.
Honorable Minister, don't answer to their side questions. Just ignore them. Question number 092 of 2025 by the Honorable Member for Brikama South.
Honorable Speaker, a series of verdicts have been given in Busura's favor, but Talokoto remains adamant that they are not in agreement, which has caused a lot of violent activities in the area. Could the Honorable Minister of Lands, Regional Government and Religious Affairs inform this August Assembly when is the ministry finally going to resolve the land crisis between Busura village of Brikama South in Marakisa Ward and Talokoto of Combo East?
Honorable Speaker, after careful consideration and examination of the conflict, it is my ministry's position that the most effective way to resolve the conflict is to conduct a boundary demarcation. This August Assembly is hereby assured that my ministry is working on diligently with relevant stakeholders to resolve the serious conflict between these three communities. We are working very hard with the relevant stakeholders to ensure that a proper boundary demarcation is done. This exercise is very technical and sensitive and thus requires a thorough analysis of the very many socio-economic and political consequences. Also, the ministry has since requested for cash allocation from the Ministry of Finance and Economic Affairs for boundary demarcation exercise. Once the cash allocation is received, it will be considered alongside with other affected communities to resolve the matter.
Honorable Minister, is the request to the ministry, is it already budgeted in the 2025 budget? Is it allocated in the 2025 budget? The money that you are requesting?
Mr. Speaker, let me inform the honorable member, our responsibility is to request finance. It's left to the minister to determine from what vote they will pay this money.
Honorable Minister, when actually you expected, or the request is going to be a stumbling block, when are you expected to do the boundary demarcation in order to avoid the level of assault that is happening in this area in terms of crisis?
Honorable Speaker, I want to assure the member that even yesterday I met some members of the community from this area and had a meeting with them. I can assure you that this is a serious concern to the government of the Gambia, and we hope very soon we'll get discussed and resolve this matter swiftly.
The member for Kiang West, you have the floor.
Honorable Minister, for the fact that the said matter in question are not peculiar to the area in question only, and you've talked about boundary demarcation, is your ministry considering a holistic approach to this boundary demarcation to avert occurrence of such in the communities where it has not emerged yet?
Honorable Speaker, let me inform the member for Kiang West that it's a concern because this is not the only one that we are requesting money for. We have requested money for the Gunjur branding boundary and many other areas. We know that we have these issues everywhere, so we have made a request. Once we receive that, we will try to address most of these boundary crises. As I said, we cannot finish them overnight, but the most sensitive ones, we will make sure that they are done as urgently as possible.
Member for Upper Fuladu West, you have the floor.
Yes, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, does your ministry have any plan to bring these two communities together for dialogue despite court verdict?
As I said, when judgments are issued, they are meant to be implemented. That's the law, and we live and work and exist by the law.
Question number 093 of 2025 by the Honorable Member for Serekunda.
Yes, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. It is evident that councils are collecting daily fees from street vendors and hawkers, while the central government is embarking on Operation Clear the Road. For the purpose of clarity, could the Honorable Minister for Lands, Regional Government and Religious Affairs inform this August Assembly the legality of council collecting daily fees from the street vendors and hawkers?
Honorable Speaker, let me inform the Honorable Member for Serekunda constituency. The question raised by the Honorable Member is a valid one, but it would have been better directed to councils themselves. However, since we represent the councils, we will take charge of it. While my ministry remains the supervisory and monitoring body of the councils, we are also cognizant of the autonomy of councils, especially when it comes to financial matters. The Local Government Finance and Audit Act of 2004 is very clear when it comes to council financial independence. However, in the interest of those who may not be aware of the legislative provision, I am pleased to inform this August Assembly that Section 131, subsection 1 of the Local Government Act of 2002 states, a council shall have power to levy rates and such taxes as the National Assembly shall prescribe to meet all liabilities, whether of a general or specific nature. Further to that, the Local Government Finance and Audit Act of 2004 empowers council to levy market fees within its area of jurisdiction. Therefore, Operation Clear the Roads, exercised by the government, should not stop council collecting daily fees from street vendors and hawkers.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. It is evident that I'm not questioning the financial autonomy of council, but what I'm saying is that the streets, the roads are for vehicles to ply on, but not to be used as markets. So what we are saying here is that, are we comfortable to say that the council is not supporting the central government's drive to clear the road for our safety?
Mr. Speaker, the honourable member is asking a first question, different from the question he asked. That's my opinion. And secondly, Mr. Speaker.
No. Honourable Minister, yes. There's a point of order from Member for Woolies. Can we hear that?
Honorable Speaker, unless it is a question, 38, 39. Subject to Standing Order 38, the Speaker shall be the sole judge of the admissibility of questions. And the Minister is always judging. This is, so really he should allow you to make your judgment. Thank you.
Order sustained. Honorable Minister, yes, just to remind you again, he raised similar orders. I should be the judge to determine which questions to be admitted or not. His original question was about councils and vendors. Order, please. And he collecting daily fees. Minister
saying that we were destroying people's livelihood.
Sorry.
Excuse me. Allow me to come. Allow me to learn.
Me. Honorable members, interruption is. But if you want, if a point of to the member.
Opposition will talk. Honorable.
Speaker, you are asking that this period.
Order, honorable members, order. Honorable members, order, please. Where is this man migrating to? To say is insulting the whole nation. Please don't use speakers to make ruling. Because if something is said before the floor of parliament, members don't maintain decorum to allow the speaker to rule. If everybody is shouting like a marketplace, making noise from his or her corner, the speaker will be left with no option but either to laugh because of the behavior that is common to a marketplace or bantaba, to allow decorum to regain, then for me to be able to make my ruling. And if a member is speaking and you believe he's out of order because of his behavior, and you are calling the speaker to address that member, you must behave yourself. Yes, Central Body will respond of order.
Order 29, content of speeches. It shall be out of order to use offensive and insulting language about members of the Assembly. Honorable Speaker, in the response of the Honorable Minister of Tourism, Lands and Local Government, it's wrong for him to call oppositions as big mouth. It's impolite of him as a minister to address us.
Please take your seat. You see, honorable members, that is why I said it's important for us to allow the speaker to run post. I had to consult with my two of them. They're here. I had to consult them in respect of big mouth and also as to whom he was referring to, whether he was referring to members or not. Before I finished, while I was consulting the member for Janjamburi and others, we were disrupted. I couldn't even know what to say. And before I finished, the member for Serekunda had informed preliminary that the minister said he was not referring to him. But that was not enough. I had to ask the minister himself if he was indeed referring to the members. And he said no. So you see, if you don't allow decorum, you will not even know what we are doing. No, you cannot help. No, I don't want you to help me. No. So, and I was going to ask. And I asked the minister, he said he was not referring to members of parliament. We will not allow, please listen, we will not allow ministers to misrepresent or impute improper motive or insult members. We will not allow members to insult or impute improper motive on ministers as well. We have made it very clear. Every time we make a ruling on those things. And we speak. They are. Yeah, please. Yeah, sit down. Yeah, sit down. So, allow me to finish first. Honorable members, you should allow me to finish. Even some of you, the words that you used against some members or the speaker is unparliamentary. Even now, you people are using them.
Speaker, point of order, please. Honorable Speaker, point of order.
You know what is the truth? Is that board members and ministers, when they are before Parliament, they must behave parliamentary to each other. That is why, it's the truth. Members themselves don't even allow proceedings to progress when there are issues. If you rule against them, if you rule in accordance with the law, they become unruly to you. Just now, members are misbehaving towards me, even whereas I'm making my ruling. Janjamure left his seat and he migrated. But he's from Janjamure. He cannot leave. He is still member of Janjamure constituency.
Speaker, stop using me as a reference for God's sake, please. Please, allow me to be in my peace, please.
Now, honorable members, order, honorable members of Parliament, honorable ministers, before proceeding, they must use parliamentary language. And the minister have stated he is not referring to members of Parliament. And I want to urge and call on the minister and members that let us be civil and use parliamentary language. You know, first question I ask my aide, is big mouth an insult, or parliamentary or unparliamentary? That's what I was consulting. I was consulting. They have not even given me the response, and you people, everybody shouted. Now, honorable minister, please, let's refrain from using words that may be seen as unparliamentary. Thank you.
Speaker.
There is point of order, member for Janjamure.
Honorable Speaker, I'm rising on point of order 29 again. It shall be out of order. That is 29.4. It shall be out of order to use offensive offensive and insulting language about members of the assembly, even though he said he was not referring.
No, don't make statement.
And I will speak a point of order.
No, Faldon Speaker.
You see,
and I will speak a point of order.
No order, wait. Member for Nyanija, order, there is the point of order. Let me rule on that.
Speaker,
member for Nyanija, take your seat. Member for Nyanija, take your seat. I'll come to you. Member for Nyanija, take your seat. I will come to your point of order. Let me rule on this point of order.
Point of order.
Let me rule on his point of order. Honorable members, let me rule on his point of order. Member for Nyanija, please be quiet. He said his point of order. Order, please. Honorable members, order. I am going to rule on his point of order 29. He stated it is out of order to use offensive or insulting language on members. On members. In member, whatever you say, member fully is. That was the first thing I asked before even other people. And he said, I asked him. And before even asking him, the member himself, the concerned member, said the minister said he is not referring to him but outsiders. And even with all that, I went further to ask the minister if he had indeed referred to the member or members. And he said, no, he has not referred to the members. Then therefore that one is out of order. But I further caution the minister and members to refrain from making statements or words that are seemingly unparliamentary. I stated it. There cannot be better ruling than that. And then the question is, even if it was to a member, first you have to establish what word was said by a member or the vice president or a minister. Now, to ascertain if that word is insulting or abusive, then you make your ruling based on the law or based on how you perceive and understand the word used by the vice president, minister, or a member answering on behalf of the authority.
Honorable Speaker, point of order.
Please.
Honorable Speaker, point of order.
Member for Nyanija, you have a point of order.
Yes, Honorable Speaker, behavior of members, Order 17. During a sitting, all members that enter and leave the chamber with decorum. That's A. B. No member shall cross the floor of the chamber unnecessarily. The honorable member for Janyambule left his seat, went there, and you gave him the floor addressing you. That is definitely very wrong. Honestly, if that is what is to be happening here, if I can be aggrieved, Honorable Speaker, that is wrong. Honestly. No, honestly.
Do you see me crossing the floor?
Member for Latikunda, thank you, sir. Sit down. Yes, member for Latikuna.
Honorable Speaker, thank you very much. When the Honorable Minister said he's not referring to members, and members before him are opposition members, you see, what kind of ruling are you making? The minister should withdraw, apologize to we are opposition. And my parents were our opposition, so my parents are big mouth. Is that Honorable Minister is telling us? Honorable Minister, you are big mouth.
Clarification. Point of clarification. Honorable Speaker. Point of clarification, Honorable Speaker. Point of clarification.
There is no clarification. Speaker, point of order.
Order, please.
Point of order.
Honorable members, order, please. Now there are evens, equal, tie, halas, finish. 1-1, let's proceed. The match is over.
Point of order. Point of order.
The match is over. 1-1.
Point of order.
Yes, there is a point of order from Kian West.
Honorable Speaker, orders 43-4. A supplementary question shall not be in order if it introduces matters not included in the original question, and the answer provided. Honorable Speaker, let us not look at the entire write-up as a question.
Honorable,
point.
No, Honorable, sit down.
Let me finish my order.
You cannot do that.
Let me finish my order.
No, there was a point of order and I ruled on that, please.
No. I don't finish my order.
No.
I'm not done.
There was a point of order on that and I made a ruling.
No, I didn't. I'm saying I'm not finished with my order.
No, point of order on what? Who?
I'm not finished with my order.
Because there is no supplementary question yet. for you to point of order that supplementary.
Yes, there was.
That one, there was a point of order, and I made a ruling on that one.
Your ruling was wrong.
Sit down. Take your seat. Take your seat. Sit down. Maintain decorum. Be quiet there. Be quiet there. Minister, please provide answer to the question asked by the member for Serekunda.
Which question is that, Mr. Speaker?
No, you know, he asked supplementary question in respect of councils and...
Can you repeat the question, please?
Yes, member for Serekunda, please repeat your supplementary for him.
I almost forgot the supplementary question, but what I was saying is, okay, the member for, is it Kiang West? Because in this...
Let him ask his question. You should not reference me, please. You asked him to ask question, not to reference me.
To put my question out.
No, let him not reference me. Ask him not reference me. Let him not reference me. Let him not reference me. You ask him to ask his question. Let him go straight to his question.
Comfortable then. Are we comfortable with the effort that the central government is doing to make our streets safe? Are we comfortable to say that the councils are sabotaging by collecting daily fees, which will encourage people to sit on the streets and sell?
No, that was not your honorable member of Central Body. Maintain decorum. You people, when a question is in favor of you or is against you, no, please.
Make that understanding. This is not a political issue. This is a national issue.
Honorable members, his earlier question was, now that the council are collecting, I think he talks about whether it was correct, but he could not. Can you repeat your supplementary question?
Yes, that's what I see.
The one you asked before.
What I'm saying is like, a similar question came here on the floor, and most of you people, you applaud that question. It was about the cosmopolitan area. This is about the metropolitan area now, where our streets are occupied. School-going children are subjected to all kinds of harassment. People don't have access to our health centers.
Point of order. Point of order. There is a point of order from Central Body. Can we hear that?
The time taken to ask a supplementary question shall be no longer than 1 minute, and an answer to supplementary question shall not be longer than 2 minutes. The question that is asking is more than 1 minute. No,
Honorable members, order, please. I think what you asked was the councils, even though the road clearance, and they continue to collect taxes, whether it's illegality, something like that was your supplementary. But it's not about what you're asking now. What I'm saying, ask your initial supplementary question. You have 1 minute.
Yeah. Honorable Speaker, what I asked was like, I know, because I was a councillor before, that it is illegal to be collecting daily fees from the women sitting on the street. Likewise, the central government is collecting road tax from the drivers. These are all illegal ventures. Those streets are already established roads. So now, let's go. I withdraw my supplement.
There is a point of order from member for Central Body.
Point of order, order 43.4. A supplementary question shall not be in order if it introduces matters not included in the original question and the answers provided for. So his supplementary question was not part of the original one that is asking now. The council, the government is no.
Honorable member, in fact, he have not even finished his question. Allow him to ask the question first. Then if it is out of order, you can stand to a point of order. Continue.
So now I'll be more comfortable to take my second supplementary question. Since the collection of daily fees by councils is a potential revenue line, does your ministry, as the parent ministry, advise the councils to invest in high-rise in our markets to accommodate places for vendors than leaving them on our streets? Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, I want to inform the honorable member for Serekunda constituency that the councils are autonomous and independent. We do not interfere as to how they use their resources. But having learned from the current investigation of the Commission of Inquiry about local government councils, every Gambian is convinced that our resources were not being properly used. Therefore, central government is awaiting the report of that Commission of Inquiry that will guide government as to how we now see our state resources are being properly utilized.
Floor for Bundung Kapunda.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Minister. With regards to the question,
throughout the country, publicity on television, radios, warning people to desist is as a result of their refusal to adhere to the rule of law that government took up the matter on its own to restore order.
Member for Nyanija, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, it is legal for council to collect fees, and of course legal for the government central government to clear the roads. So could one say council collection of fees from these hawkers and vendors is an encouraging factor, or is an issue that is making Operation Clear the Road difficult for the central government?
Mr. Speaker, I don't want to subscribe to that.
Member for Sane-Mentreng, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, as we are all talking about clearing the routes, and when we all observe that in clearing these routes, women are seriously affected. So what is your ministry doing about it to make sure that women are comfortable in doing their daily businesses? Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, I want to inform the honorable member for Sane-Mentreng constituency that my ministry was not responsible for clearing the roads.
Member for Fonye Councillor, you have the floor.
I think I'll withdraw. Yes.
Question number 094 of 2025 by the Honorable Member for Combo East.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I withdraw this question because it's been already sorted out. Thank you.
Thank you. Question number 095 of 2025 by the Honorable Member for Brikama North and Minority Leader to be read on his behalf by the Member for Brikama South.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. On behalf of the Honorable Member for Brikama North, Honorable Speaker, Section 131B, 1 and 2 of the Local Government Act 2002 provides that there shall be a paramount CFO in the Gambia who shall be appointed by the President from among the CFO in the Gambia for a period of 2 years on a rotational basis since the advent of the present regime and after the then Paramount CFO, the late Alhaji Damba Sanyang, none has been appointed. With the Honorable Minister for Land, Regional Government and Religious Affairs inform this August Assembly what is still holding the appointment of the Paramount CFO and how soon shall the President appoint one?
Honorable Speaker, let me inform the member for Brikama South that I am pleased to inform this August Assembly that after a careful review of all the issues surrounding the office of the Paramount CFO, there are currently no plans by the government for the President to appoint a Paramount CFO.
Honorable Minister, but this is a law, and if there is no plan, and you are the minister directly responsible for advising the President on policy issues, don't you think that you should have engaged the President on this issue because it's a law?
I may agree with you, Honorable Member. I want to further add that if you have anybody that you have in mind to be Paramount Chief, you let me know.
Honorable Minister, sometimes it's difficult because, like the ministry, we have a ministry where under your ministry you have local governance. From the governor, and you have all the chiefs that are directly under the governor. I think it would have been your responsibility to consult the governor to see within that region which of them can be chosen. And I think that linkage should have been done. Let the trickle-down effect affect the local authorities on the ground. Not me pointing you that you should appoint X, Y, and Z. You should have engaged the governor to work on this. Are you prepared to engage the governor to work on fulfilling these legislative provisions?
Speaker, let me inform the honorable member that I will endeavor to do as he requested, but I'm still further making further request that if you have somebody in mind, let us know.
Member for that. Member for that, you have the floor.
Thank you very much. Honorable Speaker, in this country, everything and everybody is a subject of the law. In legislation, when we say shall, it's a mandatory provision. It's not optional. And when the courts interpret shall, it's a directive to somebody to perform. Therefore, failing to do this, you should be removed as a minister. Because this is a shall. You have violated the Local Government Act.
Honorable member,
to resign or not?
Hey, see that. Honorable member, you don't make a statement. Just ask your question, please.
Honorable Minister, failing to execute the mandatory shall provision of our laws, are you ready to resign as Minister of Local Government at large?
Honorable member for Latikunda, I've accepted responsibility.
Point of order, Honorable Speaker.
There is a point of order from member for Serekunda.
Yeah. 38, admissibility of questions. A question shall not be asked for the purpose of obtaining an expression of opinion. Thank you very much.
Honorable member for Serekunda, your point of order is ruled out. Because I don't think that's an opinion, seeking an opinion of the minister. He said the law is violated, if so, are you ready to resign? I'm not sure if that is a personal opinion, that's his question. He's asking the minister, he said, are you ready to resign as a minister? When he asked the question, I in fact had to make consultation prior to your point of order. So, Minister, please respond.
Mr. Speaker, I told the honorable member earlier that I'm going to comply and further requested that if there is anybody in his mind that can be recommended in my process of doing what I am supposed to do in that direction, let him forward it to me. I'm saying that we will endeavor to do exactly what the law has said. Now, I think that closes the chapter.
Thank you very much. Member for Kiang West, you have the floor.
Honorable Speaker, thank you very much. Honorable Speaker, it is not provided for in the law if the member should have someone in mind and inform the minister, but it is provided for the minister in the law to have the responsibility in consultation to appoint the said CFO in question. So, and failure to do that one, it is in contravention of the law. Can the Honorable Minister tell this August Assembly how soon will he do this? Because this is a provision in the law.
Honorable Minister.
Speaker, I want to inform the honorable member for Kiang West. I cannot give you timeline. I'm not responsible for appointing. I'm only to recommend. The issue of appointment lies on the president. So I'm only to recommend, and I cannot give you timeline. I don't dictate the agenda of the president.
Member for Opanyomi, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the opportunity. Honorable Minister, it has been said by the Acts that you should recommend to the President to appoint the Paramount Chief. What is the appointment of Paramount Chief according to the Constitution of the Gambia?
It's not in the Constitution. No, it's not in the Constitution. It's in the local government. It's not in the Constitution, which is the supreme law of the land. It's in the local government. It's a law, that's why we are respecting it and will endeavor to do the needful.
Minister, don't respond to their side talks. Banjul Central, you have the floor.
Honorable Minister, based on what you've just said, would it be fair enough to say that the government is yet to find the issue serious in order to expedite the process?
When Parliament speak, we listen. And I think Parliament complement our work. The fact that it has been brought to our attention for the second time will endeavor to do the needful.
Wole East, you have the floor.
Yes, thank you. I think, Honorable Speaker, we are getting to the bottom of this issue. As the representative of the President.
Order, honorable members, order, please.
As the representative of the President, maybe the President is unaware of this particular provision. Would you endeavor to ensure that, since it is a rotational matter, to ensure that the rotation just continue? There is no need to belabor the process. Just make it rotation. That's what the provision is saying.
How it rotates is not my responsibility. I can only recommend. The President, that's his ultimate responsibility. Yes, I will just have to recommend. And I endeavor to do that.
Honorable Minister for Lands, Regional Government and Religious Affairs, I want to thank you sincerely for those answers provided to this August Assembly, and you may go now. Thank you, Honorable Minister. Honorable members, order. Where are you people going? Can you please take your seat? Honorable members, I want to thank each and every member of Parliament, especially those who ask questions both substantive and supplementary, and wish you well. I now put the questions. Be it resolved that this August Assembly do stand adjourned until Thursday, 28th March 2025 at 10 a.m. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. This Assembly now stand adjourned. Honorable members, please take your seat. Honorable members, sit down. Chief Whip, please take your seat, my friend. This Assembly now stand adjourned until Thursday, 28th March 2025 at 10 a.m. prompt.
Alright.